Hey all. So I wanted to talk about something a little bit different this week. Obviously, I didn't do an energy report. I don't think anybody needs me to tell them what the energy's like out there. I'm fairly certain you can figure that out on your own. But there's a lot going on. There's a lot of hatred. There's a lot of strife. There's a lot of violence. There's a lot of destruction. There's a lot of people who are crying out to be heard, and justifiably so. I don't condone violence. I don't condone breaking a bunch of stuff. But I also understand that there comes a point where people have to take drastic measures in order to be heard. It seems like for years there has always been this constant elephant in the room that nobody really wants to touch or nobody really wants to recognize as a problem and something that nobody really wants to address. But I think the time to change that is now. But a couple things that I want to get into today, mainly I want to talk a little bit about emotional wellness. There's a lot of messages going on out there right now that say if you're silent, you're complicit. I don't necessarily believe that's true. I think there's a lot of folks, especially the ones who are a little bit more sensitive, who need to process things. They need to understand what they're feeling before they can take any type of tangible action to get out there and make a difference. That doesn't mean that you're complicit. That doesn't mean that you condone activity that's illegal and unfair and biased the same way that it's been for years. It means that you're doing things your way. You're coming to terms with your feelings on the matter. Because when we act from a place of anger and hatred, the results are never good. I mean, just for example, have you ever done something when you were pissed off? The results usually aren't good, and then you feel bad about it later. You can be inspired from those feelings of anger, those feelings of the injustices that are out there, but just don't act on them. Understand them, process them, figure out why it is that you're mad, and then find a way to go take action on them. At least that's my belief. But when you need to take time to let go, to come to terms with things, to decompress, it's good. Do that. It's also safe to go do something different for a while. It's okay to let loose. You don't have to be immersed in this situation 100% of the time in order to be a part of a solution. Your emotional wellness matters, your well being matters. Taking care of the responsibilities that you have in your life, they matter too. I mean, I'll be honest, I'm disheartened over this whole thing. I can't claim to understand what racism feels like. I don't feel as though I'm someone who's ever fell victim to it. I understand bigotry, and I know how hurtful that can be and how disgusting it can be, but I also know they're not the same thing. They may share some of the same common characteristics and such, but they're still two very different beasts. So my only real message to you is to get out there, process your emotions, take the time that you need, and then basically be the light that inspires positive change. You can do that in a multitude of ways. Reach out to communities that need your help. Find ways that you can immerse yourself within those groups to make a difference. Do whatever you feel you need to do to be a part of the solution. The only things that I disagree with are, I try not to sound judgmental, are like the new age folks who think that tapping their foot like 3 times and then rubbing their forehead while sitting on their couch and sending light makes a difference. That doesn't do anything. The intention there is good, but the action that's behind it, it doesn't do anything. I don't deny the power of what we're able to do within ourselves. I never will. But I feel that instead of sending light, again, you need to be the light. You need to be an active part of the solution. You need to look for ways to stop the injustices. You need to find a way to recreate the government in our country. The only way this country was built on revolution, I think we all know that. So it's up to each of us to do things in our own little way that lead us toward a better future. This is a very dark time, but what we're going through right now, I believe, is necessary. I think this is our opportunity to squash this racist shit for good and set it to the side. Because how can we ever move forward if we have this constant segregation that still exists? Maybe it goes unheard, maybe it's quiet, but the sad truth is that it still exists. So just think about that. Think about the different things that you would like to do, which is still kind of what I'm doing right now as well. And then find a way to take action on those things. Just again, don't act from haste, don't act from anger, don't act from hate. Act from your heart. The only other thing that I want to bring up for this week is with all of this stuff going on, I do feel it's a good time to connect with some other folks. I'm not the best at doing that myself, but I think that there's an opportunity here to create some new connections with like-minded people so that both of you or all of you can drive your ideas and your goals and your aspirations into the future and into something positive. But that's really my only message that I want to throw out there today. My heart goes out to the family of George Floyd, and I really hope that we can all work together to find a genuine resolution soon. Be well.